Welcome to Psychic Insights, where pop culture meets higher consciousness and the tea is always a little bit mystical. I'm Robin Richardson, your psychic girlfriend, and around here we don't just watch the drama unfold. We read the energy behind it, whether it's celebrity scandals, reality TV, chaos, or true crime with a twist. I'm tuning in to bring you the intuitive scoop the headlines miss. So buckle up, because your aura's about to get entertained. Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's Robin Richardson, your psychic girlfriend, and hopefully your favorite psychic on YouTube. And if not, hey, join the bandwagon here. And thank you for liking and subscribing and ringing that bell and making comments. It helps me and my channel, and I appreciate that. So, our girl Laura Owens, wow, that woman at 35 years old, she's accomplished a lot. She's accomplished a lot. Anyway, I want to talk about the energy around a recent legal examination involving her. It's my opinion. It's not legal advice. It's not a verdict. It's not accusing her. It's not doing any of that. It's just my intuitive and psychological commentary for entertainment purposes. And, just FYI, if you do get a reading with me, I'm very neutral, supportive, and loving. But when I do these readings with Laura, I try to be as neutral as possible when I'm reading the energy, but then I'm like, what? Okay, so this is no different. So on February 9th, Laura had a little sit down with the DOJ and the bankruptcy trustee. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. So I'm not going to break down in the legal filings or any of that stuff. I'm just really going to talk about the atmosphere and my cards that I pulled and what the patterns reveal. And you know what? Let's get into it, okay? Because sometimes the most revealing things isn't what's being said, it's how it's being said. So when I tuned into this energy, I didn't see any explosive drama. I saw pressure meeting structure. I saw narrative meeting documentation. How you doing, documentation? Not so good, huh? And I saw someone who was very accustomed to shaping the story suddenly being asked to speak in a language where precision matters more than persuasion. Boy, she tries, though. I don't think she understands the legal system. Anyway, maybe I'm wrong. All right, so the cards I pulled for Laura's energy during this examination were child, fish about money, cross, then we had the sun, then we had the mice. Then we had the key unlocks. Then we have the whip. And then we have the stork. And then we had the scythe. All right, so quite a few cards I picked for her. Still can't get that image out of my head. Like just seeing her. Yeah. There isn't this openness energy. Let's put it that way. So this is not really a chaotic thing. It's just the spread isn't chaotic. It's more clarifying. All right, so Laura's energy, we have the child, and we're not talking sweet child. Oh, she's so sweet. This is developmental energy. It's the card of, I haven't fully built the muscle for this yet. And the muscle being like understanding her narrative versus what reality is. And it's definitely a gap between identity and accountability. Big gap. Big wide gap. And it can show up as, I didn't know. Not because nothing wasn't signed, but because the implications were never really emotionally integrated. Then we have the fish, and this is about money. But more importantly, it's about flow without clear boundaries, shared resources, entanglement. What's mine? What is ours? What is business? What is family? What is real? What is imagined? What is truth? All right. So fish doesn't scream wrongdoing. No. It screams lack of structure and blurred lines. Lots of blurry lines here. All right. So then we have the cross. Dun, dun, dun. The cross. It's weight. It's not punishment. It's gravity. The cross weighs down. And it is definitely the emotional and psychological heaviness of consequence starting to land. It's the feeling of being asked to stand still while something is measured carefully. Okay. So then we have the sun, and the sun is exposure. The sun is exposure, illumination, visibility. It's not destruction, it's clarity. And it's the light that removes the shadows. And the sun doesn't accuse, it just reveals. And that's what we're seeing. And then there's the mice. And mice is internal erosion. It's anxiety, mental loops, the feeling of being nibbled at from inside rather than attacked from the outside. And this card speaks more to stress than scandal. So it's weighing down on her, like the things she has to do to, provide documents, correct her testimony if she's going to do that. There's a lot of shifting. Anyway, we've got the key. The key is the solution pathway. The exit, not the argument, is precision. It's being asked of her to be precise. Truth unlocks the tension. So I don't think she's sitting with, per se, I don't think she's sitting with the weight yet. It's there. But I don't think she's ready to turn that key because it requires ownership. It requires her to say, I signed those documents knowingly and willingly. I said that I had X amount of dollars. Okay. Then we have the whip, and the whip is, repetition, rehearsed language, mental self-defense, the internal dialogue of, how do I phrase this right? How do I answer the questions correctly to get me out of this, basically? My opinion. It's what I witnessed. How do I slink out of here? So it's not aggression. There was no drama. It was just pattern explanation. Okay. So then we have the stork. And stork, it's so funny when this stork shows up with Laura. All right. But it's inevitable change. It's identity restructuring. So again, we are starting to, what we suspected, we are starting to see that this woman who has a LinkedIn profile that says, I am owner, this and that and the other thing, isn't. And the public perception at the moment is continuing to shift. We're starting to see, I shouldn't use the word starting. We are seeing with clarity that her role as whatever she said she was is evolving, and it is evolving whether you plan for it or not. Can't make this up. Scythe. This is sharp clarity, a clean cut. Not destruction, not decision. Something must be separated from something else. It's the old narratives being trimmed, illusions removed quickly once they're seen. So she tried to do a lot of that shifting. And shifting of blame, shifting of responsibility. Of course, all deflection away from her. All right. Taken together, this is the energy of strategy, fatigue meeting forced definition, not panic, not chaos, but maybe the realization that language alone can't carry the weight anymore. That DOJ lady, Jennifer, yeah, good at her job. I'm going to say that. All right. My opinion. I don't work with her, but I got the impression. So we're going to talk about her for a second, Jennifer. And the cards that I pulled as a result of her energy, like what was her energy? Okay. So this is fascinating. I pulled bear, woman, oopsie. Oop, where did my woman go? Woman, bear, and woman. Then we've got the heart. And then we've got the anchor. So this is fascinating to me. So the bear is authority, strength. Oops. I'm going to put her together because she's a woman, right? Bear is strength, oversight. It's the energy of structure, not aggression. And you could tell with her just how she went through her questions. She didn't do the Deandra. It's a yes or no question, ma'am. But I kept wanting you to say that. And if you don't know who Deandra is, just go check out some of the greatest hits of the Clayton Echard trial with Laura. All right. Then we have the woman, and this is presence, observation, awareness. It's the sense of being seen clearly. She saw clearly. All right. The heart. It's not softness here. It's not softness. It's sincerity. It suggests the intent is procedural rather than personal. So whatever the thought bubbles that I was reading over her head, she was procedural. Okay, so then she has the anchor, and this is stability and immovability, meaning she's not a pushover. This is the energy of a system that doesn't rush, doesn't chase, doesn't waver. She has a job to do. She required and requested documents. You know, if you're changing her testimony, let's get the documentation going. Okay. So it simply just says, waiting for clarity to arrive. And so the room itself didn't feel hostile. It read as steady, watchful, and grounded. And that's the energy that Miss Jennifer brought to the table here. All right. So then, I had to... Laura's attorney, David Gingras, whatever his name is. Damn, I was watching his face. All right, we'll just go with what the cards said. We had crossroads, because I have an opinion, right? Moon, bouquet, and ship. Those are the ones I pulled. All right. So the crossroads is decision energy. Internal weighing of paths. The moon is perception, reputation. Reputation. Oh, yeah, it is perception too. Reputation, perception, and emotional awareness. It's the card of public image and institution. How am I looking on here? And David looked very professional, except his facial expressions. I'm like... Okay. Then we have the bouquet, diplomacy, charm, smoothing interactions, the desire for civility. And then the ship is distance and movement, emotional or strategic separation, not abandonment. He was there. But independence or trajectory. So this read less like a confrontation and more like a navigation, an awareness of optics, direction, and professional boundaries, which we have to question with David. But anyway, that's what the card said, okay? So let's talk about the big entire spread. It talked about pressure without chaos, exposure without aggression, and change without immediate collapse. And it's the moment when the personal story is being translated into institutional language. I keep hearing what you're saying, what you've said isn't aligning, and we need the documentation to either reflect what you said or to be changed and provided correctly, Like, this is no joke. Like, this is no joke. All right. There's a very specific energy that appears here when the usual explanations stop working. And it's not confusion. The energy is not asking for confusion. It's starting to recalibrate. All right. So in closing, I found the whole meeting fascinating. Not only from a procedural, point of view, like I'm not involved in any kind of legal anything. Like, I always, fingers crossed, I get chosen for jury duty because I think it's pretty cool, but so far, not so much. But like, the question I have is, how is it that you think you're going to get away with something? And I think that's part of it. It's just like, how is it that you don't read legal documents and sign them? Like, how is it that you're okay deflecting responsibility? All right. So when the light turns on, you have two options, right? You can shield your eyes or learn to see clearly. And energetically, this definitely feels like a moment where clarity is no longer optional. So we're going to see how this all plays out in the next several months. So I'm just interested in this case for a lot of reasons. Just like, how is it that you can live like this at 35 years old? I don't know. I'm the oldest child, so I'm like super responsible and I've learned that integrity is super important. So what you say and what you do are in alignment, right? And that people can count on you to be who you say you are. And that's just me. But clearly that's not what other people think about themselves. They just want to create a narrative and hope everybody buys it. Or maybe they're trying to buy it themselves. Anyway, I'm Robin Richardson, your psychic girlfriend. Thank you so much for supporting my work and being here for the Laura Owens case. I'm considering some other cases, but right now she's my focus, just because I find the whole thing fascinating. So like and subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss anything. I'm also doing content on Pick a Card. I might do a Coffee and Cards live stream coming up where you can ask your questions. And if you have a question that you'd like me to answer, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I am happy to do that. And, just what you would like me to cover next. It's also helpful. All right. You know who I am, your psychic girlfriend, Robin Richardson, and I will see you in the next one. And if you like a reading, go to yourpsychicgirlfriend.com. All right. Bye.